What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on my YouTube channel of my Pittsburgh Pirates podcast. Today we have basically one giant topic, but it's kind of two sections into one. We are going to be talking about a total of 4 players on the 40-man roster and what the team is doing with these players that is just a confusing mess. I don't think any fans know what the plan is with any of these guys. I think we really only know one of the plans at this point. Before we get into this first section of our video, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It's very easy. Just hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Make sure to like the video and comment down below your thoughts about these 4 players and maybe someone else on the 40-man roster I did not bring up here in this episode. So to start it off, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Tommy Pham. I could end the podcast right now just by saying he isn't good. It's no offense to Tommy Pham. I mean, he's not particularly my favorite player on the Pirates right now. But, I mean, he's getting paid $44 million. I almost said $40 million. Thank goodness. He's getting paid $4 million at age 37 to go out with a 501 OPS this year. He has yet to hit a home run as a Pittsburgh Pirate. He has 30 hits and 153 at-bats, 8 RBIs. He got picked off at first base on his big 10-year anniversary. And I'll give the Pirates this. I guess they haven't DFA'd him yet. They could have got all this slack for DFAing him before his 10-year anniversary, before he gets like the league like pensions or whatever it is. And like the big oh yeah, happy 10 years or like 10 years of service time. That's a big moment for some of these guys. I would say everyone's trying to get 10 years in the big leagues. But Tommy Pham clearly doesn't have it anymore. Tommy Pham was the big offseason free agent bat. The big free agent signing, you could say, this year was Andrew Heaney. The big offseason addition this year was probably at this point, the way it's going, Andrew Heaney. I would wish it was Spencer Horwitz, but he's kind of started out slow. He just had 2 hits in one game against the Cubs, had a couple hits in that series. He's been more of a doubles guy than more so what you'd be hoping for a first baseman, some power, but I hope that is coming. But this isn't an episode about Horwitz and Heaney. But overall, Andrew Heaney was your best free agent addition, minus McCutchen, because that's not really an addition. It's kind of just you're continuing with what you have. Now, with Tommy Pham, this was your big bat addition. This was the bat you signed to bring in that was new, not named Andrew McCutchen. Tommy Pham, last season, by the way, played on 3 different teams. He started with the White Sox. That's where he played his best. He had a 266 average, 330 OBP, 380 slugging, and a 710 OPS. 5 home runs, 19 ribbies. He got traded to the Cardinals. The Cardinals would get him 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. He put a slash line up of 206, 286, 368, and his OPS dropped to 654, down from the 710 he had with the White Sox. Then he was picked up by the Royals. So he played 23 games each with the Cardinals and Royals. With the Royals, it got even worse. He gave them, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. He was still hitting a little bit with the long ball. But here's the thing that sticks out. It's the slash line. He did hit better slightly with the average, 228, a 250 OBP, that was lower, a 337 slugging, that's lower, and a 587 OPS, very lower than his 654 with the Cardinals, and before that a 710 with the White Sox. So once he left the Chicago White Sox last year, it did not go that well. Currently with the Pirates, he is below all of those numbers except for his OBP. He is below. I'm just looking at the Royals numbers, actually. But if I'm only looking at overall 2024, he had a 248, 305, 368, 673. He is very below all of those numbers. A 196 average, a 279 OBP, a 222 slugging, and a 501 OPS. $4 million, a 501 OPS. You know what? I'll give him the credit. He fleeced the Pirates. The Pirates aren't a team to spend a lot of money, and this is the money they spent. $4 million on a guy who's putting up a 501 OPS. Like I said, listen, I'm not blaming Tommy Pham for any of this. He's making bank. Like, if I haven't played baseball in my life, if I was given $4 million to go stink every day, I would do it too. I would take all the slack, but hey, I'm making $4 million. There's nothing wrong with that. Tommy Pham fleeced the Pirates organization here, and it's crazy he is still on the team. He's already made a good bit of money. Just pay him the rest of the $4 million. It's not that big. Sure, Bob Nutting doesn't like to spend money, but at this point, just take your losses. Now, here's the question, though, that I'll propose. If you're DFAing Tommy Pham even before the trade deadline, because clearly no one is going to want him, I would be completely surprised if anyone gives you anything for him. If anything, you're getting a small portion of international spending money that we'll probably won't see for a very long time. Now, here's the thing, though. If you're the GM, Ben Cherington, who you are already clearly on the hot seat, and you DFA this guy who is your outfield bat addition, the big one that fans were clamoring for all offseason long, and you DFA him before the trade deadline, that should be a cause for your dismissal. Like, am I wrong in saying that? If you are DFAing one of your big bats you added to this team to be a veteran leader, like 3 months into the season, you are waving the white flag in defeat and saying, I made a mistake, and it was a big mistake in year 6 of a rebuild. If he's here next year, it's year 7. Year after that, it's year 8 of nothing but losing. The best record Ben Cherington has put together so far in his Pirates tenure are back-to-back 76 and 86 seasons. So far this season, the Pirates are well behind that. They are not playing at a good pace. Let me get their record very quick. They are definitely not good right now. They have a record of 29 and 44. Not good. Not good at all. 15 games under 500, by the way. Clearly not looking good. They are playing below that 76 and 86 pace. And it's crazy. The team is completely worse. And it's not even the pitching's fault. The pitching's killing it. And I'm not going to turn this into a rambling session about why the team is worse. We're going to stick to these players right here I want to talk about today on the 40-man. But this just goes to show Tommy Pham was not enough. Spencer Horwitz as your big addition, not enough. Andrew Heaney, awesome, but he's a pitcher. That's not enough. This team needed bats. Andrew Heaney is a welcome addition. He's killing it this year. But Tommy Pham being your big addition on the offense based off free agent money, $4 million? Really? This team spent $10.5 million on Aroldis Chapman last year. $10.5 on a reliever, on a closer. That was pretty good. They actually didn't trade him either, which was pretty shocking. And your big bat that you signed was Tommy Pham. And like I said, I'm not counting Andrew McCutchen. I know he's a free agent, but that was not really an addition. That was just a retention of the contract. Like, we're probably going to see it. I would sign him again this year because he's going to want to end his career here. But Tommy Pham is clearly the first guy that needs this domino needs to fall. And when his 40-man roster spot is open, they need to get something, bring someone in. They probably will just call up one of the guys who I'm going to be talking about in a couple seconds. But I think we can all agree the Tommy Pham experiment needs to end. And it's nothing against Tommy Pham. It just needs to end. It has gotten to a point where it is predictable. The whole offense is predictable, but it's gotten to the point where it's just awful to watch. Ground out, strike out, pop up, him dropping balls in the outfield. Sure, he's played good defense at times, but at that point, I want better than a 501 OPS. I don't think that's too much to ask for out of a 37-year-old Major League Baseball veteran. Higher than a 501 OPS. He could put up a 502 OPS and it'd still be the same thing. If you can't even put up a 600 OPS at this point of your career, which would be amazing on this team, which is saying something else, you need to hang it up. It needs to be done. So that's all I have on Tommy Pham. Leave your comments down below if you're listening to this point. What your thoughts are about this guy. What do you think they do? Because honestly, in my opinion, you have to cut ties right now. There's no one, you're not getting anything. I understand the whole, you got to keep him to see if he has trade value. What trade value is there? Let me read the slash line again right now. 196 batting average, a 279 OBP, a 222 slugging, and a 501 OPS. I almost said a 196 OPS. It feels like that. But yeah, that's Tommy Pham. And we're going to move on, though, to 3 40-man roster spots I am questioning right now. So I'm looking at the 40-man roster right now, and if you don't know what the 40-man roster is, it is basically the pool of players that you have in the minors and majors that you can just pull from without having to make a significant roster move, like cutting someone off your roster and having them become free agents practically, or designating someone for assignment like they just did to Brett Sullivan today, to bring in Dari Moreta and put him back on the roster. Now, when I'm looking at the 40-man, I'm going to be talking about 3 offensive pieces. I'm not going to be talking about any of the pitching or the pitchers not on the 40-man because it's like, it's fine that they're not on there. We're going to get to see a 40-man move at some point, hopefully soon, when Bubba Chandler is on, because Bubba Chandler currently is not on the 40-man. So there's an example. If Bubba Chandler hopefully eventually gets called up in the next coming weeks, I would hope. Who knows? Maybe Tommy Pham gets taken off the 40-man, but you would assume they would have replaced Chandler with a pitcher. I don't know. It's not my job. But if it were my decision, it would probably be Colin Holderman. But that's the thing. He is on the injured list, so you can't really take him off of there. But yeah, going back to the offense, this is the big problem with this team. There's 3 guys in the minor leagues that have all had major league experience already, where I am at the point where it's like, what are we doing with these guys in the minors? What are we doing with these guys not getting, I guess, consistent chances in the majors? Well, with one of them, 2 of them have. But what are we doing with these 40-man spots when you could probably try to flip some of these guys, maybe 1 or 2 of them at the trade deadline, which I would honestly predict maybe one of them will. Starting with the first guy I want to talk about is Ji-hwan Bae. Ji-hwan Bae, his only tool is speed. It is clearly only speed. Ji-hwan Bae this year in the minor leagues, 253 batting average, a 343 OBP, and a 711 OPS, 1 home run, 6 ribbies, and 95 at-bats. In the majors this year, he played in 11 games, 11 at-bats, that is. He had 1 hit. He batted .091, a 167 OBP, and a 258 OPS. 258. I understand it's 11 at-bats, but his only tool is speed, let alone understand he's 25 years old. 25. That's at the point where it's like, okay, this is DFA land. This was your final chance. This is the last grasp at the major leagues you have with the Pirates, at least. And there was the sequence in Miami where he faked himself out, and I think he got picked off at third, I think it was. Like, he finally decided to steal second. He just kept faking himself out. Like, he is a guy that is supposed to be stealing bases. Please. He has 113 of them in his minor league career. In the majors, 35. Now, here's the interesting part you could call, like, Ji-hwan Bae and all these guys mainly are quad A guys. Ji-hwan Bae in the minors, a career 301 hitter, 383 OBP, and an 816 OPS, that is. In the major leagues, he has a average of 228, dropped from that 301, a 293 OBP compared to the 383 career minor league, and in the OPS category from an 816 in the minors to a 592 in the majors. He clearly can't hit major league pitching. So what do you do with this guy? In my opinion, this is one of those DFA candidates just because he isn't good. There probably is a team out there that would like his tools in the minor leagues. Maybe some organization is competing for a like AAA championship, or they just want to add a speedy guy into their organization that they can call up to try to steal bases. He clearly hasn't done that with the Pirates. And the like microcosm of all of it was watching that sequence in Miami where he just kept faking himself out and not really knowing what to do. It was very depressing to watch because his only tool in the major leagues is clearly his speed. He can't use it right. He has gotten picked off multiple times in his career. I understand he only has 452 career at-bats in the majors. In the minors, 1,579. He is a career quad A player. He is at age 25. You have to move on. This is a roster spot being used. There are guys in the minor leagues I would rather have in these roster spots over a Ji-hwan Bae, who you can just either trade away or DFA. It's over. Put him in a trade package with someone else. Like, honestly, if you're trading away, I don't know, it might lower the trade value, but who knows? If you trade away like an Adam Frazier or something at the deadline to say, I don't know, the Mariners, I don't know. If they just like some speedy guy in there, just throw Ji-hwan Bae in there. Maybe take a little bit of less value for another lower end prospect you are going to get anyway. You just got to get this guy off the roster at some point. Like, I understand the tool of speed, but it is clearly not working. So in my opinion, with Ji-hwan Bae, it is more than likely DFA than trade. But moving on to the second guy, This is a guy that I'm kind of curious with still, but I'm kind of like, what are they doing with him? And this, of course, is Liover Peguero. Now, Peguero was actually Ben Cherington's first ever trade. He was in the Starling Marte to the Diamondbacks trade, by the way. Age 24, he's a second baseman. He's played some shortstop. And he has had 220 at-bats in the majors. He has a career 236 hitter with a 281 OBP and a 645 OPS. So he's at least shown something better than Ji-hwan Bae. He has 7 home runs, 28 ribbies. In the minors, however, in his career, 2,214 at-bats. He has a career 266 hitter, 325 OBP, and a 743 OPS. So in the minors for all that time, he's still kind of below the 750 OPS mark in the career marks in the minors, but he kind of seems to be peaking at that, like in the majors, he looks like he's probably going to be at most like if I'm doing quick math, like finding an average, maybe like a 670, a 680 OPS max. Sure. For Pirate standards, maybe, but like on a good team, I don't think that would be competent enough. When you look at his major leagues numbers this year, he only had 9 at-bats. They called him up and just sat him on the bench the whole time. He had 2 hits, gave him a 222 average. I'm not even going to read those stats because it's like 522 OPS. So he only had 9 at-bats. I look at his minor league stats this year. They're not really that good. 176 at-bats, 3 home runs, 29 ribbies. Sure, he's driving in runs. He's still batting, that is 239, 307, and a 676 OPS. So like I said, his career minor league OPS is 743. He's kind of peaking at that 676 OPS mark right now. Whenever I look at his career numbers, let me see if I can pull these up. They're not showing up here very quick. Let's see here. No, they're not showing up. But yeah, it gets to a point with Liover Peguero where you either have to do one of two things, and I think a lot of fans can agree. It's either you give him some runway in the majors just to see what he has, because he's 24 years old. Once you're past maybe like age 21, 22, when you hit age 23, 24, it starts to get showtime. It's like you have to be up here. And please note, this was Ben's like first guy he traded for like 6 years ago. He's now 24 years old and is still in AAA. He's been another career minor leaguer looking player, another light hitting middle infield prospect, which we have seen a lot of under Ben Cherington, which is crazy to say. And it's not crazy to say. It's kind of funny. That's how the career of Ben Cherington on the Pittsburgh Pirates as the general manager has worked out. So that's Liover Peguero. If I'm picking what to do, when the Pirates trade Adam Frazier, when they trade Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, I would hope it's Nick York coming up. I would hope it's Billy Cook coming up. Honestly, just call up Liover Peguero, give him some runway, I guess. You have to see at some point him in a longer form season what he can do. He only has 220 major league at-bats, 645 OPS. He's a career minor leaguer. OPS is 743 right now. He's a 676 in the minors right now as well. In the majors, he might give you a max of like a 670, 680. I guess that can be competent, like I said, for Pirate standards, but it gets to the point like, what are you doing with this guy? Is this a trade chip? He probably won't trade him because this is the guy he traded for in the first place. This was like his first big move as a Pirates GM was trading Starling Marte for Liover Peguero and Brennan Malone. And where the heck is that guy? We only know where Liover Peguero is, and he's in AAA. So this is the second guy I have, and the third guy is no explanation needed. It is Jack Suwinski. Age 26, he was a part of the, I think, Adam Frazier trade, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be stupid for forgetting that. It was the Adam Frazier trade. He was a part, he came with Mitchell Milano, and of course, the man who is banned for life, Tucupita Marcano. So Jack Suwinski was the big piece, you could say, in this trade. Now, when Jack Suwinski got brought up, it was like on that emergency COVID list. He I think it was Reynolds and Cole Tucker had to go down with COVID, so they called up him and Reynolds and Tucupita. Not Reynolds, Suwinski and Tucupita Marcano for a brief little stint. Now, when he got called up, Jack Suwinski was kind of hitting. I kind of just want to look really at his career in the majors right now. 2022, he got called up. He had a 202 average, 298 OBP, 411 slugging, a 709 OPS. 19 home runs, 38 RBIs. Overall, from what you would think you would get out of Jack Suwinski, which was worse at the time, 19 home runs rookie season, that's awesome. 2023, he's hitting 224, 339, 454, and a 793 OPS. He continued to get even better. He gave you 26 bombs, 74 RBIs, and you get the fans excited. It's like, this guy could be a 30 home run hitter. The Pirates might have found like a hidden gem in that Adam Frazier deal, and it was like, oh, that's awesome. Then 2024 happened. A drop off of a 182 average, 264 OBP, 324 slugging, and his OPS dropped from a 793 to a 588. He gave them 9 homers, 26 RBIs. He struck out a lot. In 88 games, he struck out 79 times. Jack Suwinski basically fell off a cliff in 2024. He, of course, got sent to the minor leagues, and I don't recall him getting called back up. And then this year, he played in 16 games, and it was even worse. A 128 average, 244 OBP, 154 slugging, and an OPS of a 398. He hit 0 home runs, 1 RBI, and 39 at-bats, 16 games. Then he goes to the minor leagues this year. He started out a little slow, but now he's slashing a 267, 354, 526, and an 880 OPS, which is of note the highest of his minor league career. He hit 820 in 2022, and in 2021, when he was with the Padres and then the Pirates, he came over in that trade. He had an 868 OPS that year. But overall, OPS in the minors so far for his career, 2020-25, has been his best. He, of course, also has 9 home runs, 35 RBIs right now in the minors with the Indianapolis Indians. Now, why is Jack Suwinski in this portion of my podcast episode here? Why am I questioning his roster spot? I'm questioning his roster spot is like, why is he still not back up? And it's crazy to be wanting this guy in the majors after how bad it looked in the majors this season with his 398 OPS. But with how he is hitting in the minor leagues right now with an 880 OPS, 9 home runs, he's looking a lot better. And I'll say this, I fall for it all the time. Like every year, like Ben Cherington falls for Ji-hwan Bae in the spring training in AAA or whatever. Fans like me, we're just starving for offense, and I will gladly fall for how Jack Suwinski is hitting right now in AAA. If he can somehow replicate his 2023, he could hit 200 if he wants. He can hit 190 if he wants. But if he's giving you 26 home runs, bring him back. Get a thumper in this lineup, please. That's all we want as fans. And it gets to the point with what you do with this roster spot. I would presume, and this is just me, if you DFA Tommy Pham, they'll just call back up Jack Suwinski at some point, which I would do. It would be nice to have another lefty in the lineup. Because if you think when it looks at lefties, in the lineup-wise, see here. Guys in the majors right now. Adam Frazier, bats left. Spencer Horwitz, couple switch hitters. Let's see here. Ji-hwan Bae, not in the majors, not good enough. O'Neal Cruz is your big lefty, and then Brian Reynolds is a switch. It would be nice to add another lefty to the lineup, in my opinion. Tommy Pham doesn't cut it anymore. You have to just cut ties there, and if you're doing a quick roster move, it is Jack Suwinski. Now, when Jack Suwinski gets called up, I don't want him being benched all the time, because remember when Derek Shelton was still in charge, Canario got brought in, he gets benched. Then Donnie Kelly shows up and starts playing Alexander Canario. It's really hilarious. Even like Nick Solak. Like I wasn't a big fan of Nick Solak. I know he was tearing up the AAA, but it's like, it's Nick Solak. I still would have played him over some of these guys, and the Pirates just benched him forever, then sent him back down. He became free agent, and he's back. Like no one else wanted him, and he's still in AAA, and it's still crazy. He's the one tearing the cover off the ball more than some of these prospects. But with Jack Suwinski, the question I will ask is this, and I presume when I said there was going to be 3 guys I want to talk about, there's 2 of them that I thought were tradable. One of which would probably be Layover Peguero, just because the prospect pedigree was once there. Ji-hwan Bae, I don't think is really tradable. I think he ruins trade value. I think Jack Suwinski is the most tradable of these guys, and it's crazy to say. I know he hasn't been hitting this year in the majors or last year, but a team will look at that 26 home runs 2 years ago and probably give this guy a chance. If there were a team that would love a Jack Suwinski, I'm going to say it's the Colorado Rockies. because I will say he is not a bad hitter at Coors Field. I know every time the Pirates seem to go to Colorado, Jack Skowinski will hit him a home run. He seems to be a guy that would like that ballpark, and it could be one of those change of scenery guys. Because right now, Jack Skowinski is 26. Peguero is 24. Bay's 25. The older guy of those three that I'm talking about is Jack Skowinski, 26 years old. It gets to a point, I think this next time he gets called up, it's his final chance. It is his last chance with the Pittsburgh Pirates. If he gets sent back down, I think that's just where you just say we're cutting ties and we're trading you. We're going to get something out of you. I mean, that's all you can ask for. I mean, you hope for the best for these guys to succeed, but at the end of the day, Jack Skowinski was a guy with not a big pedigree. I mean, he was around 15th round pick. He was picked 444th in the draft by the San Diego Padres. Like, he gave you a 26 home run season 2 years ago. I don't think it's far-fetched for him to just come back out of nowhere. I would rather roster him than Tommy Pham. That's just me. But yeah, that's the episode for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's very easy. Just hit the button down below. Make sure to like the video and comment down below your thoughts about Tommy Pham, your thoughts about what to do with Peguero, Skowinski, even Ji-hwan Bae, or if there's anyone I didn't think about in this video or didn't bring up, make sure to comment it down below. Thanks for watching. It means a lot. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.